It's not often I get to speak to someone from that far in the past. Okay, not the talkative type, I see. Well, let me fill you in what's roughly been happening in the past 600 years. If I recall correctly, you fought in the Arc Revolution, right? Okay, good. It saves me some explaining, at least. Take a seat. What I'm about to tell you will be a lot to take in. Yeah, I'm sure you do, but that's not what I meant. Actually, 2 people in your old unit are still alive, but this is kind of beside the point. We've been retrieving everybody we can get our hands on. Let me explain. 150 years after you were chambered, a great war erupted. Officially, it was known as the Fourth World War, but most people referred to it as the Information War. It was not a battle of great generals or politicians. The Fourth War was a game of simulation and prediction. Every skirmish was a mere experiment, ordered by computer models, to gauge the enemy's military prowess. Every soldier, drone, or civilian was a mere data point, collapsed qubit somewhere in a mainframe, far away from the battleground. Lives were spent merely for the purpose of factoring different random variables and narrowing predictive estimates. Battles were often decided before units were even within visible range of each other. It was only a matter of days before most of mankind's infrastructure was destroyed. 2,000 years of technological and cultural progress turned into rubble in one destructive sweep. Blinded from direct tactical input, inference became difficult, and civilian casualties increased sharply. Many revolted against their leaders, attempting to put a stop to the war. Others fled and became hungry refugees in the less developed world. It was not until half the population of the First World was decimated, and most of the tactical centers predicted a state of mutually assured destruction, that a full military disarmament was put into effect. It was from the ashes of this Fourth War that the Global Union was formed. Many things changed after the war. The thirst for intel by the various mainframes led to the development of thought links. These were highly advanced neural chips, which linked soldiers and drones in the field to their respective mainframe back home. Not only were the soldiers' observations monitored, but also their personal inferences and memories. Well, not quite. You guys actually won the war, and such orgs were banned for a long time. In fact, never before had an augmentation this invasive been possible, or research on such technology been legal. But, you know, desperate times. Anyway, once legal, corporations boosted ThoughtLink popularity, and with everything shared in a common data sphere, the division between people's private and public lives quickly dissipated. Some of the populace opted out, but most people were fitted with thought links or comms. Society adjusted quickly. Most, if not all, political decisions were based on consensus, and pretty much all research was shared on the consensus network. Great strides were made scientifically, not only because of the improved communication, but also because any residual neural processing capacity could effectively be used. There was some initial tension, mostly revolving around religious beliefs, but these were resolved without any bloodshed. For the first time in history, all of mankind coexisted peacefully. Yes. Yeah. Well, about 12 days ago, ECN scientists measured increased sunspot activity. Predictions showed a moderate solar flare was about to occur. Calculations were performed, and the consensus projection showed that the flare would not have sufficient power to damage the power grid or affect any moderately shielded electronic devices. Although the energy of the coronal mass ejection was well within the predicted range, there was an unexpected lensing effect, which seemed to focus all of the flare's energy towards Earth. 5 hours later, it hit, crashing into Earth's magnetic field that unleashed a geomagnetic storm the likes of which nobody prepared for. The sky erupted with beautiful auroras as the magnetic field quivered. There was barely any time to prepare. The movement of Earth's magnetic field induced large currents in nearly all our electronic devices, and within seconds, most communication lines were severed, and many people with an active thought link died from internal brain hemorrhaging. Needless to say, planet-wide panic erupted. Yeah. Now, of course, emergency protocols were immediately set in motion, but this is actually when things went from bad to worse. The lensing was not a natural phenomenon. Yes. Well, actually, no. The war, if you can call it that, is already over. Our forces didn't stand a chance. The consensus had fallen apart, and without it, we were floundering. No more targeting system, no more predictive strategy, no more battleground intel. Nobody was used to fighting a war like this anymore. In the first hour, all major communication centers stopped transmitting. 2 days, and all planet-side communication simply ceased. I don't know. As far as I know, there has been no word from the Protectorate since this started. They might not even know what's going on. Yeah, we don't really know. There are scattered reports, but no encounter survivors. In the entire campaign, we only have a handful of confirmed kills, none of which provided anything that was intact enough for useful autopsy. Close contact survivors, there are none. Whatever they are, they seem to move quickly, almost as if teleporting over short distances. Reports on their appearance vary. From the data we lifted from the neural shunts, some compare them to beetles or spiders, but nothing very consistent. You have to understand, though, this shunt data is all perceptual. Given the short time in which the victims were taken out, it is quite likely that these observations are unreliable. And even more so, since we have reason to believe that whatever attacked us can tap into these shunts. The main reason we retrieved you from Higgs stasis is that we are hoping you can make it to Alpha Prime. Considering the nearest jump at Terminix is offline, you'll have to go by Alcubierre Drive. Yeah. Well, mind you, the time debt will be significant, and it is pretty unlikely that Earth will still exist when you get back. Nevertheless, we believe that this plan is our only hope for survival. If you don't get to Alpha Prime, then it will be only a matter of time before the colonies will hit, and without time to prepare, well, I don't know.